So recently, ladies and gentlemen, like very recently, apparently, and I do need to have a little bit more verification if this is true. Apparently, Iraq has passed out a new law in which apparently the age of consent to marry in Iraq for women has been downgraded from 18 to just 9 years old. And once you hear stuff like that, I think I it you don't there's no point in trying to understand what the logic is in doing that, because no, I don't want to know what the reason is. What logic, what explanation can you give to suggest that something like that is okay? It isn't, ladies and gentlemen. That is the honest truth. There is no justification for it. There is no reason for it. It is it is I'm absolutely like beside myself in hearing stuff like that. But I can also tell you something else I do know, ladies and gentlemen, is that if I was a young woman living in Iraq, you know what I would do, even if I heard stuff like that? Get the hell out of there. Honestly, that is first and foremost the only thing I would have thought about, because no, that's that there is you can't there is no justification for that whatsoever. Where does it what makes anyone think that that a 9-year old is going to think to themselves, well, now I'm going to get married apparently because it's by law. It's suck it to the law if that's what they're trying to do, because I've never heard of anything quite so insane as that in my life. But you know what I also wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that what will happen is that, imagine if my advice was picked up upon and you have a lot of women who are like basically fleeing Iraq because they want to try and settle for a better life somewhere else where they don't have to put up with that sort of thing. I can imagine if many of them came to the UK, and a lot of people would be telling them literally to go straight back. I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, that's because we've seen it be done before, and we know fine well that's probably what they'll say, even if they knew, ladies and gentlemen, the reasons why they were getting away. But it's always when moments like this come around, ladies and gentlemen, is when you do realize the logic behind why they would want to flee their home countries like Iraq or Afghanistan, because they're not safe for women. They're not safe for people to. There's the. I mean, some of the laws that the Taliban actually put in place for women specifically, in just in civil life, is nothing short of outrageous. It is nothing short of dehumanizing. As far as the law by the Taliban is concerned, women are only designed for the people of Afghanistan to literally be seen and never heard of. In fact, I don't even think either of those things are true. As far as the Taliban is concerned, women are there just to be baby making machines. That is legitimately, or in the eyes of the Taliban, I honestly think that's all they see them as. And in case you think I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, or you think my perception about law is misguided, then why are they bringing stuff like this out then? And then again, if we're trying to take this, let's just go center back on Iraq for a second. What justification is there, ladies and gentlemen, for wanting to decide or saying to yourself, you know what, a 9-year-old would make a good bride? I know, ladies and gentlemen, that sort of conversation should not exist, because I've never heard of anything so insane as that in all my life. And and honestly, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, if how exact, and then of course there's the other major issue is how exactly. So let's say for example, if I knew better to just flee Iraq, knowing this news, well, how exactly do you reckon I'm going to plan something like this out undetected, and how do you expect um we would be able to do it? Because, well, Because in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I reckon it's not just women in Iraq or Afghanistan who are probably incredibly offended by this change in the law. There are probably many men out there in Iraq as well who will be looking, what? Because, again, when you talk about 9-year-old kids, ladies and gentlemen, kids, many of them who've got parents, many of them who may have been killed by the state. So, what? I mean, the quickest way to judge is that how would you feel if somebody told your 9-year-old daughter that, you know what, we found a husband for you at last, get out. You know what I'm saying? What sort of thing do you think that actually does to a child? And you may argue, ladies and gentlemen, again that, you know what, maybe they don't see it like that, and maybe us in the West don't have the right to judge because only a few hundred years ago we had laws that were completely barbaric and inhumane, like sending kids to work down the pits, down chimneys, in mills. There's only one problem with that hypothesis, ladies and gentlemen, though, is that it's not the 19th century anymore. It's not even the 18th century anymore. We've moved on from that. So, yes, that's... I don't really know what else I'm meant to say apart from that, outside of, well, I'm appalled. Beyond description. And I don't think I don't have anything else to say. What is this world? What on earth are we coming to, ladies and gentlemen? Are you kidding me?